From the secrets of a centuries-old structures to our remarkable landscapes, friends, I have the honor to welcome you to the new episode of Continent Ride. This land that sits right above the African continent is bordered by the Arctic Ocean to the north, Atlantic Ocean to the west, the Mediterranean Sea to the south, and Asia to the east. With Asia they make the same land, Eurasia. But let's talk about Europe. Europe covers an area of 10.18 million kilometers, or 3.9 million miles. It's the second smallest continent in the world. Europe is divided into 50 sovereign states, but Russia is the biggest of them. Other bigger are Spain, Ukraine, France, United Kingdom, Sweden, and many others. Russia takes part in both Europe and Asia. On Russia's land is the main border of these two continents. The border is Mountain Ural, Ural River, Caspian Sea or Lake, Caucasus Mountain, Black Sea, and Mediterranean Sea. These seas are connected by some passages. They are Bosporus and Dardanelles. Because of this border, Asia and Europe are not the same continent. Name of this continent comes from the word Arab, which means place of setting sun. From the view of East Asians, the sun sets in Europe. Some nearby islands belong to Europe, such as Cyprus and Iceland. If you watched my last episode, you remember that we said Greenland belongs to the Denmark Kingdom, but we counted an American land. If you didn't watch it, I don't know what you were waiting for. Go watch it and then come back and continue with watching this. Now let's continue. Some old civilizations were part of this continent, such as antique Greece and the Roman Empire. You must hear something about them. Antique Greece was made in the 9th century before Christ, and it's destroyed in 600 years, also before Christ. The West Roman Empire was destroyed in 476 years. This year in history marks the start of the Middle Ages. The end of this period is 1,492 years. Maybe you wonder why this year. It's because Columbus discovered America. I also talked about that in the last episode. In the new century, Europe was very popular because of Spain and Portugal, which discovered half of the world and shared their culture. The end of the First World War was in 1918, and this year marks the end of the new century and start of contemporary times. Every important thing happened here. The European Union was formed in 1949 on the west of Europe, but it spread to the east. The climate of Europe is predominantly moderate. The whole climate depends on Gulf Stream. It makes the European climate warm. Every Western European city is warmer in the winter than any other in the world. It's no matter if they are at the same latitude. This climate is very convenient for plants and animals. Most of the continent has mixed forests. What that means, in those forests you can find deciduous and coniferous trees. They are very useful, so people cut them and sell them for different uses. Some countries reforest everything that people cut down because plants are important for oxygen and they can use them again. Some places are very fertile, so people use them to plant wheat, fruit, and other things which they can use for food. Those climates and other conditions are very good for some animals like wolves, bears, Europe bison, foxes, and snakes. People for their needs have pigs, cows, chickens, sheep, and others. Some types are endangered and they are under protection. In the seas you can find octopuses, squids, dolphins, and whales. Of course you can find different types of fishes. European culture is very interesting. They are associated with art, music, dance, buildings, temples, and food. You probably hear about Balkan most popular dance folklore, which is most important in Balkan countries. Also, everyone hears about Balkan traditional food, Greece traditional food, Italian traditional food. Center of European culture is Italy and Spain, which started in the Renaissance 1550. Most culture is saved from the period of Antique Greece and Antique Rome. About 18th century were Balkan occupied of Turkey and Central Europe, who occupied about Austria and are saved food and culture. Europe is the third largest continent in the world by population. There are about 746.4 million people living in Europe. Europeans are one of the smartest people in the world, and all studies confirm this. Well, they're not probably that precise cause I live in Antarctica, but we will not discuss that now. When we mention Antarctica, let me ask you something. Have you heard about a secret continent that is located even south of Antarctica, and it's called the Subscriblandia? Okay, please don't click off from this episode just yet. We didn't finish the quiz part of the episode, so let's start with that now. First question, is Europe the biggest continent on Earth? Second question, do wolves live in Europe? And third question, are the Alps the natural border between Europe and Asia? Don't forget to answer these in the comments. And friends, Europe is over. Till next week, see ya.